Annual energy bills predicted to soar above £4,000 in the new year. For many, it looks like a bleak winter ahead, but the calls are for an action plan now. We ask Rishi Sunak what the government is doing to help. Also tonight.
Evening News with Lucrezia Millarini.
Good evening. After another, frankly, quite scary prediction today, it seems the news about our soaring energy bills just keeps getting worse. And as it does, demands intensify for the government to do something now about the cost of living crisis. We'll come to that in a moment. But first, millions of British households can tonight be forgiven for feeling unnerved by the latest forecast. A prediction by a single research company, a firm widely regarded as authoritative, is that in the new year, energy bills will climb to more than £4,200. Well, the gloomy news is likely to leave people up and down the country wondering how they will cope. More from our consumer editor, Chris Choi. Well, as pressure continues to mount on the government to act, neither candidate in the Tory leadership is proposing any course of action to help right now. In an exclusive interview earlier today, Rishi Sunak told our political correspondent Daniel Hewitt that if he was to get the top job, a few £100s more would be on the way to families this autumn.
Okay, right. Okay.
Well, for all the latest on the cost of living crisis, including how to get help if you think you need it, head over to our website at itv.com/news. Next tonight, investigations are continuing into an explosion that destroyed a house in South London, killing one young child and leaving 3 others in hospital. People who live on the same road have been speaking of a sickening smell of gas in the area in the days leading up to the blast. Ian Woods reports. Next, millions of people are now facing the prospect of a hosepipe ban that some experts say could last until October. The Met Office's 4-day amber heat warning for large parts of England and Wales is forecasting temperatures in the mid to high 30s. And the sad news came today that a 14-year-old boy died in a lake in Hertfordshire. Martha Fairley has the latest. Well, for more on that Met Office alert, we can speak to Alex, who is at Buell Water Reservoir. The court heard more details today about allegations against former footballer Ryan Giggs. The player-turned-manager is accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Kate Greville, and today she made claims about the abuse she has suffered at his hands. Well, Mr Giggs denies all of the charges. Sangeeta Lal was in. Still to come on the ITV Evening News tonight. Banned for... more insights from Mary later in the programme. See you after the break. Welcome back. The coach who guided Jessica Ennis-Hill to Olympic gold at the London 2012 Games was today banned for life from training athletes. An investigation has accused Tony Minicello of sexually inappropriate behaviour, emotional abuse and bullying. He has denied the allegations against him and is planning to appeal. This report by our sports editor Steve Scott contains details you may find distressing. Have you been affected by any of the issues raised in that report? There are details of where you can get support on our website. That's at the usual address. Some other news now. Nurses will start voting next month on whether to strike over pay in what is being described as a defining moment for the profession. In America, former President Donald Trump has furiously claimed his Florida home has been raided and put under siege by the FBI. Law enforcement officers are understood to have carried out a search warrant for documents missing from the White House. Well, both Donald Trump and his critics agree on one thing: the search is unprecedented. Well, Ben Chapman is out. The announcement by Serena Williams today that she is preparing to say farewell to tennis signals the end of one of the greatest sporting careers of all time. Winner of 23 Grand Slam singles titles, including 7 at Wimbledon, Serena revealed her intentions in a magazine interview. Exactly when she might take her final bow, though, she didn't say, as Geraint Vincent reports. Simply the best. You're watching the ITV Evening News. Here's what's still ahead before Emmerdale. Now, the players who brought England such glory in the Women's Euros have been taking a well-earned break before their new season begins. But ITV News got an invitation from one of their stars, goalkeeper Mary Earps, to come out to the holiday island of Crete and join her for a remarkable interview. Mary Earps quickly became one of the tournament's iconic figures, both for the brilliant saves she made in game after game and for her infectious sense of humour and team spirit. Indeed, several pundits voted her player of the match after her performance at the final. Well, Chloe Keedy sat down to talk to her. Oh, a well-earned rest. Now let's get an update on what's making the news tonight. Now, though, to the deadly drugs epidemic that is currently gripping Belfast. 15 people have died of suspected drugs overdoses in the city this summer alone, while Northern Ireland as a whole now has the UK's second highest rate of drug fatalities, more than doubling over the last decade from 92 in 2010 to 218 in 2020, the highest on record. Well, Sarah Clark reports from a city in crisis. More than 100,000 school pupils in Scotland got their results today for the first full exam since the pandemic. Both the pass rate and the number of top grades fell from last year's teacher-led grades during the COVID crisis, but they were up on the last set of formal exams in 2019. Here's more from our Scotland reporter, Louise Scott. The outpouring of affection towards Olivia Newton-John continued today in many more heartfelt tributes to the singer and actor following her death. Members of the supergroup ABBA were among those who joined in to express their sadness at the passing of the star of the film Grease. Well, many of the tributes also saluted the bravery of Dame Olivia during her years of treatment for and campaigning about breast cancer. Rebecca Barry reports. Oh, the life and legacy of Dame Olivia Newton-John, who has died aged 73. Still to come on the programme tonight. Join me here and Alex out on the road for all of that in just a couple of minutes. Hello again. Well, we're crossing to Alex now, back at Buell. Finally, the programme that follows us this evening, the ever-popular Emmerdale, is coming up for an important landmark. October will mark the soap's 50th anniversary and a massive month of celebration is planned. And as our entertainment reporter Rishi Davda found out, in the best Emmerdale tradition, fans can expect high drama. Thriller romance, what more could you ask for? And Emmerdale is, of course, coming up next. Charlene will be back here with news at 10. But from me and all the evening news team, bye-bye. Have a great evening.